My wife dared me that I couldn't live without her. So I told her to mess up and find out, and she did. So I made sure to teach her a lesson. Hello. Thank you for your continuous support. This means a lot to us. If you enjoy the stories we share, kindly subscribe to this channel. It will be great if you can leave a comment on which city you are watching from. We might just give you a shout out in our next story. Today's special shout out goes to Jean Allister from San Diego, USA. We are glad you enjoy our stories. Now let's dive into the details of today's story. A wine glass clinked against the granite countertop, sharp as a gunshot in the quiet hum of the dishwasher. It was late, past 11 on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023, and the air in Mark and Lisa's suburban kitchen hung heavy with the stale bite of Merlot and simmering spite. Mark stood by the sink, arms folded tight, his jaw clenched as he watched Lisa teeter in her scuffed heels, her lipstick a messy slash across her mouth. She'd blown through the door an hour past her usual work ran late story, and now she was splashing more wine into her glass, her laugh brittle and cutting. Still awake? She drawled, her voice syrupy with mockery. What, playing the loyal watchdog, waiting to tuck me in? Mark's fingers dug into his sleeves, a slow burn creeping up his neck. Just curious when you'd crawl home. Third night this week. Lisa. What's the excuse, happy hour, or a midlife crisis dance-off? She grinned, swirling the wine like she was auditioning for a spotlight. Oh, Mark, don't be such a bore. I'm out there living. You should try it sometime. Or can't you survive a night without me propping you up? The jab landed hard, the kitchen shrinking as the fridge's buzz drilled into Mark's skull. He'd swallowed her barbs for years, little cuts that scarred over, but tonight, they sliced deeper. Maybe it was the glitter dusting her collar, a souvenir from a world he wasn't invited to, or the way she propped herself on the counter, daring him to flinch. He dropped his arms, his voice low and edged like a razor. You think I can't make it without you? He said. That I'm just your whipped little shadow? Lisa's laugh erupted, a jagged spill over her glass. Oh, honey, you'd be lost without me running the show. Couldn't pay a bill, couldn't fry an egg, face it, Mark. I'm the spine in this house. The air crackled with her smugness. Mark stepped forward, his shadow slicing across her. Mess up and find out, he said, each syllable a coiled thread, steady as a heartbeat. She paused, glass hovering near her lips, then flashed a toothy, feral grin. What's that supposed to mean? You gonna pout louder? Go on, honey, impress me. The dare dangled there, a live wire sparking for a match. Mark didn't bite. He just watched her gulp the last of her wine and lurch upstairs, her heels tapping out a sloppy rhythm on the hardwood. He stayed put, the dishwasher's churn humming in his ears as his mind spun. She thought he was all talk. She'd learn. The next few days dragged like a broken record. Lisa staggered in late Monday, then Wednesday, tossing out excuses, client drinks, a coworker's birthday, just unwinding. Mark nodded over their morning coffee, letting her lies stack like dirty dishes. He clocked the clues, the perfume clinging to her coat, the way her phone lit up with texts she shielded from him. Thursday, she didn't come home at all. He slumped on the couch, the TV flickering silently, until dawn bled gray through the blinds. No call, no message, just the creak of an empty house mocking him. Friday morning, she breezed in, hair a rat's nest, still in Thursday's wrinkled blouse. Crashed at Jen's, she mumbled, shoving past him to the coffee maker. Mark stayed quiet, watching her shaky hands spill grounds across the counter. He waited until she flopped at the table, scrolling her phone, before he moved. It was unlocked, classic, careless Lisa, and there it was, a selfie glaring up at him. Lisa, cheeks flushed, grinning ear to ear with Jake, her high school ex, all dimples and faded charm. Time-stamped last night, his arms slung around her, her lips grazing his jaw in a smirk that screamed trouble. Mark's pulse thumped, but his face was a mask. The photo burned. Jake's arm, Lisa's closeness, it etched itself into his brain. He set the phone down, quiet as a shadow, and slipped to his office. She'd dared him, and now she'd lit the fuse. He locked the door, dropped into his chair, and let the silence settle. She'd always loved a dare. Too bad she'd missed his. His fingers tapped his phone, then dialed. Tom, he said when the line clicked, his voice cold as steel. It's Mark. I need divorce papers drawn up. And I've got a plan, gonna need you to lock it down. Tom's laugh rasped through. Finally. What's the angle? Mark leaned back, a thin smirk tugging his mouth. She's about to regret this. Let's talk assets. Outside, the wind howled against the windows, but inside, Mark's gears were turning. The game was live. The printer's buzz droned low, a steady thrum under the Friday morning stillness of March 10th, 2023. Mark slouched at his office desk, tie loose, the acrid whiff of burnt coffee lingering from a pot he'd forgotten to switch off. The weekend blurred past, Lisa's reckless nights gnawing at him, that selfie with Jake a splinter in his brain. But now, Mark wasn't brooding. He was plotting. His phone jolted, Tom's name blinking across the screen. Papers are drafting, Tom said, voice clipped through the speaker. But if she's after half, we need a plan. She's got a nose for your cash. Mark rocked back, the chair groaning. Let her sniff. How fast can I transfer assets? Everything. House, savings, the lot. Tom hesitated, then let out a dry chuckle. To whom? You can't shove it under a mattress. My mom, Mark said, a smirk tugging his lips. Helen's never liked Lisa. She'll play along. Sharp, Tom said. Legal, too, if we nail the details. Lisa'll grab at air. When do you want it done? Yesterday, Mark snapped. She's already turning our marriage into her trophy. Tom's laugh crackled. Give me till Thursday. You'll be broke on paper by then. Mark hung up, the printer's hum fading as he snatched his keys. The drive to Helen's was 20 minutes, time to rehearse. Her house crouched on a quiet street, porch sagging under pots of scrappy plants she swore kept her grounded. He knocked, and the door creaked open to Helen, lean and sharp at 68, a steaming tea mug in her grip. Trouble, she said, eyeing him over the rim. You've got that look, like when you totaled my Buick. Mark stepped in, lavender and wormwood hitting his nose. Lisa's the trouble. I need a favor, Ma. Big one. Helen's brow arched, mug clinking on the table. Spit it out. She finally show her stripes. He spilled it, the late nights, Jake's smug face, the dare Lisa thought she'd won. Helen's mouth tightened, puckering like she'd sucked a sour candy. That girl's been a parasite since the dose, she growled. What's the ask? Take my assets, Mark said. House, accounts, all of it. On paper, I've got nothing. She wants half, she gets squat. Helen's eyes flashed, a slow smile curling. You're a crafty one, Mark. I'm in. What's my cut? Bragging rights, he said, matching her smile. And I'll mow your lawn till I'm 50. Sold, she said, smacking his shoulder. Get your lawyer moving. I'll sign it. Lisa was a ghost, out again, likely with Jake. Mark kept the charade alive, sizzling eggs Tuesday morning as she shuffled in, hungover and humming. Rough night, she muttered, snagging coffee. He nodded, stone-faced, watching her thumb her phone, clueless. Wednesday night. He caught her voice drifting from the living room, sticky sweet, through the walls. Jake's crashing here tomorrow, she giggled. Mark's out of town. Just tomorrow, some work thing. House is ours. Mark stiffened in the hall, pulse thudding. She thought he'd be gone. Perfect. He smirked at the timing. Thursday, he packed a bag, fed her the business trip, line, and peeled off to Helen's. Tom's papers were done. House, savings, investments, all Helen's. Mark owned a rattling Honda and $50 in a checking account. Broke on paper, bulletproof in truth. That night, he sprawled on Helen's couch, the TV muttering reruns. His phone pinged, a neighbor's text. Heads up, some guys at your place. Lisa's loud. Attached. A blurry ring cam shot. Jake, arm around Lisa, lurching through the front door Mark didn't own anymore. Timestamp, 11:47 p.m., March 13th. Mark's jaw locked, but a smirk crept up. He saved it, evidence in his pocket. Helen patted in, peering at the screen. That her new night? Yep, Mark said, voice low. She's digging her hole. I'm tossing her the shovel. Helen snorted. Attaboy. Next step? Mark tapped Tom's number. We bury her with it. Outside, crickets chirped under a faint night sky, but in Mark's gut, a storm brewed. Lisa's party was peaking, and he'd be the one pulling the plug. The bass pulsed through the sleek wood floor of the Rusty Lantern, a hip downtown bar, on Monday, March 20th, 2023. Neon lights buzzed over a swarm of 30-somethings, their chatter spiking above the clatter of glasses and a shaker's hiss. Lisa reigned near the bar, her red dress clinging tight, her voice loud and brassy as she flicked her hair. Jake slumped beside her, all lazy smirks and cheap cologne, while her work crew, Jen, Tara, a few tag-alongs, hooted at her tale of slaying some client. To epic nights. Lisa crowed, hoisting her martini, the olive jostling like a prize. Glasses clinked, cheers erupted, none of them sensing the thunderhead rolling in. Mark lingered by the entrance, hands in his pockets. The faint rustle of paper brushed his chest where he'd stashed the envelope. He'd hired Eddie, a twitchy process server with a flair for drama, but tonight, Mark wanted the kill shot himself. Tom had the papers ready Tuesday, and Mark had bided a week, letting Lisa's girls' night ripen into the perfect trap. He nodded at Eddie across the room. Game on. He cut through the crowd, the air heavy with sweat and gin, close enough to catch her perfumed floral, biting. Lisa, mid-toast, didn't clock him until his tap on her shoulder. She whirled, martini splashing, her smile twitching as she met his eyes. Mark? She yelped, voice jumping. What the hell are you doing here? He held out the envelope, voice flat as pavement. Lisa Marie Tanner, you've been served. No sudden hush fell, no cinematic gasp, but her friend stalled. Jen's glass hovered, Tara's mouth gaped, Jake blinked like a stunned buck. Lisa gawked at the envelope, then snatched it, tearing it open with a scoff. Her eyes darted over the text, petition for dissolution of marriage, and a shrill cackle burst out. Divorce papers, she said, volume cranked for the room. You're serving me here? Oh, honey, that's sad. Mark tilted his head, a tight smile flickering. Figured you'd want a crowd. You live for the spotlight. Her crew squirmed. Jen snickered nervously. Tara coughed into her drink. Lisa flapped the papers like a victory banner, her grin stretching. This your grand plan? Good luck, Mark. I'll take half your precious empire, house, savings, everything. You're toast. Enjoy the read, he said, spinning away. See you in court. He strode out, the bass dulling as crisp night air slapped his face. Lisa's cackle trailed through the door. He's bluffing. Guys, watch me clean him out. Her friends roaring her on, blind to the news tightening. At Helen's house now, Mark flopped on the couch, the TV droning ads. His phone buzzed. Sam, his co-worker, all glee. Heard you dropped the nuke, Sam said. She melted down. Thinks she's won, Mark said, chuckling dryly. She's in for it. Make her bleed, Sam urged. You're golden. Mark hung up, the house groaning softly, when another ping hit. Eddie. She's still yapping. Says she'll own you. Jake's glued to her. You good? Mark texted. Better than good. He sank back, a slow smile blooming. Lisa was counting his cash he didn't own. Friday morning, Lisa strutted into Helen's kitchen, still in that red dress, heels swinging from her fingers. Cute move, Mark, she said, tossing the crumpled papers on the counter. But I've got this. My lawyer's drooling. Fantastic, Mark said, sipping coffee, tone deadpan. Tell him to ring me. She snorted, flouncing upstairs, still crashing in Helen's spare room, her phone buzzing like a hive. Mark waited until her footsteps faded, then dialed Tom. She's hooked, he said. What's next? Tom's voice cut sharp. Discovery. Her lawyer called, freaking out. Your financials don't add up. She's yelling fraud. Mark's laugh was low, edged. Let her yell. She's got no clue what's hitting her. Outside, a car horn blared, but in Mark's hands, the phone buzzed with Tom's reply. Lisa thought she'd fired the first shot, but the real barrage was loading. The air hummed with the low drone of a printer in Tom's law office on Tuesday, April 11th, 2023, 3 weeks into the divorce grind. Mark sat across from Tom's messy desk, the sharp whiff of ink and stale donuts lingering. Sunlight cut through the blinds, glinting off folders, Lisa's financials, Mark's empty ledger, and a thick stack of dirt Tom's team had unearthed. Mark's rattling Honda waited outside. Inside, he was a pauper with a crown. Her lawyer's flailing, Tom said, rocking back, leather creaking. Discovery dropped yesterday. They got your numbers. Rattling car, $50, nothing else. She's howling you hit it. Mark's lips curved into a faint grin. She's still chasing a ghost stash. What's she doing? Tom slid a sheet over, Lisa's scrawl clawing the margins. Demanding an audit. Screams fraud. Says you're funneling through Helen. But check this, he tapped another page, a grin curling. She turned over her mess. Statements, texts, Pure gold. Mark grabbed it, eyes racing over it. Company card hits, $800 at a club, $200 on lingerie. Text to Jake. Mark screwed. I'll cash out big and booked us a weekend. His money, my rules. A blurry photo. Lisa and Jake sprawled on their couch, March 13th, ring cam night. She's torching herself, Mark said, voice low, a chuckle rising. This is too good. Tom flipped the dirt file open. It's richer. HR flagged her card abuse. Someone tipped them. She's dangling at work. And Jake's texts? Drying up. Last one's a week old. He's slipping away. Marky's back, the chair groaning. She's too busy crowing to see it. Our play. We hit back, Tom said, voice like a blade. Her affair's leverage, adultery dents her case. The card? That's dynamite. Mediation's tomorrow, judge a feast. The next day, Wednesday, April 9th, dawned. The mediation room was a sterile cage, gray walls, chipped table, an AC unit rattling overhead. Lisa perched across from Mark, her lawyer, Greg, fidgeting with papers. Her nails drummed the table, her grin smug. Mark sat still, hands clasped, Tom flipping notes beside him. Greg coughed, voice whiny. Mr. Tanner's financials are fake. No assets? We're not swallowing that. We want a forensic audit, full strip down. Tom pushed a folder forward, voice sleek. Audit away. Here's Mark's haul, Honda, $50. Done. Now, Lisa's turn. Greg blinked as Tom fanned out the proof, statements, texts, the photo. Lisa's grin wobbled, nails halting. What's this? She barked, snatching a page. Her eyes flicked over the charges, the texts. How'd you get these? Your phone? Tom said, leaning close. You gave it up? Forgot what's in there. Greg blanched, tripping over words. This doesn't matter. Adultery matters, Tom snapped. Fraud too. She's bleeding her firm dry, scheming to rob Mark. Judge'll lap it up. Lisa's chair screeched back, her voice shrill. This is bullshit. He's hiding it all, I know it. Mark locked eyes with her, cool as frost. Prove it, honey. I'm an open book. Her laugh was jagged and desperate. You're a liar, Mark. I'll rip you open. Tom stacked the folder, smirking. Keep it coming, Lisa. You're a gift that keeps giving. The mediator, a gray-haired woman with a flat stare, tapped her pen. Save the shouting for court. We're done. At Helen's, Mark paced the living room, the TV muttering a newscast. His phone pinged Sam. Mediation massacre? Sam asked, buzzing with delight. She's fraying, Mark said, a slow smile blooming. Thinks she's still ahead. Gorgeous, Sam said. She's toast. Mark hung up, the house creaking, when Eddie's text hit. She's yelling at Jake outside the bar. He's dodging. You're crushing it. Mark chuckled, dropping onto the couch. Lisa's world was buckling. Job, Jake, her bluff. His phone pinged again. Tom. Greg spooked. Wants to settle. Your call. Mark's eyes flashed. No deal. Let's torch it all. Outside, a dog yapped in the dusk, but in Mark's chest, triumph roared. Lisa's desk was flipping, and he'd slam it down hard. The courtroom reeked of polished wood and pent-up strain on Wednesday, May 10th, 2023, fluorescent lights humming overhead like restless flies. Mark sat at the plaintiff's table, tie cinched, Tom's notes rustling beside him. Across the aisle, Lisa sat rigid, her lawyer Greg clicking a pen too loud. The gallery murmured, Helen in the back, arms crossed, eyes sharp. The judge, a lean man with a gray buzz cut and a gravelly growl, banged his gavel. The cracks sliced through the noise. Order, Judge Harrow barked. Let's skip the racket and get on with it. Tanner versus Tanner, asset split. Counsel, keep it tight. Tom rose, voice slick as oil. Your Honor, Mark Tanner owns a rattling Honda and $50. No house, no savings, legally shifted to his mother pre-filing. Ms. Tanner wants half of nothing. Her financials? Company card fraud, affair proof. She's got no ground. Greg leapt up, voice thin and frantic. Objection. Mr. Tanner's hiding it. Fraudulent transfers. We need an audit. Sit. Harrow cut in, hand flicking. Docs are clean. Transfers predate the split. You've got guesses, not evidence. Ms. Tanner's shot. Lisa's heels tapped as she stood, red blouse stark against the dull room. Her smile stretched thin. He's lying, Your Honor. That house, the money, it's ours. He tricked me. Harrow's gaze sharpened. Got proof. She stumbled, hands wringing. I know it's there. He's sneaky, he planned it. Knowing's not proving, ma'am, he said, dry as sand. Sit. Greg thrust papers forward, tripping over words. Her contributions. 8 years of marriage. She deserves half. Tom slid his stack over, cool as frost. Her contributions? Adultery, fraud. Here's the receipts. She wanted 50-50. Fine. Mark takes half her assets. Condo equity, car, 80 grand. Lisa's chair screeched as she bolted up. What? No. That's mine. You can't. Enough. Harrow's gavel banged again. I've heard enough. Ms. Tanner, you pushed for half. It flipped. Mr. Tanner's got nothing. Legally broke. You've got assets. He gets his cut. Ruling. Mark Tanner takes half her worth, 80,000. Done. The gallery inhaled, Helen's snort piercing through. Lisa's scream tore out, echoing and raw. This is bullshit. He tricked me. You're all blind. Harrow's stare iced over. One more. You're in contempt. Get her out. Greg yanked her arm, her heels scraping as she shrieked. I'll appeal. He's not winning. The door slammed, her cries fading. Mark breathed out, a slow grin spreading as Tom slapped his shoulder. Told you. Her yap was the jackpot. Outside, Helen met him on the steps, May air thick and warm. Ruthless bastard, she said, grinning. Proud of you. Thanks, Ma, Mark said, chuckling. Your deed sealed it. By nightfall, Lisa's world charred quick. Her firm axed her. HR swung after the card mess leaked. Jake vanished, texts dead for days, probably long gone. Her friends faded, her phone falling quiet. She slumped into a grim rental, the for sale sign stabbing Helen's lawn by dawn. Mark spent his last night at Helen's, the TV muttering a newscast as he packed. Thursday, May 15th, he lugged his duffel to a sparse rental. Bare walls, a cot, his Honda rattling outside. 80 grand nestled in his account, a spark for something new. His phone pinged. Sam. Courtroom slaughter? Sam asked, glee sparking. She's dust, Mark said, voice light. Half her empire's mine. Fresh slate. Legend, Sam said. Drinks on you. Mark hung up, quiet settling. Helen leaned in the doorway. Free now, kid. What's next? He glanced out, dusk bruising the sky. Build something she can't reach. She nodded, smirking. Good. She dared you to live without her. Look who's standing. Mark stepped outside, crickets shrill in the warm dark. The Honda's engine coughed as he fired it up and pulled away from Helen's curb. Lisa's dare rang in his mind. A taunt flipped to victory. He'd lost a wife, a house, but he'd won his freedom, pure and hard. The coffee maker gurgled in Mark's bare rental on Friday, June 16th, 2023, dawn light leaking through a cracked blind onto a chipped mug. The space was stark, cot shoved in the corner, a folding chair, the faint hum of a Craigslist fridge. His rattling Honda sat outside, 80 grand pulsing in his account like a heartbeat. For weeks post-ruling, the air tasted clean. No Lisa, no chaos, just Mark and a fresh page. He sipped the bitter brew, steam swirling as the TV muttered weather from the counter. Helen's voice snapped through the phone mid-call. Settled in, kid? That hole sounds like a tomb. Mark chuckled, easy and low. It's a start, Ma. Silence beats granite counters now. Damn straight, she said, her grin clear. Sold the old place yesterday. Lisa's ghost is someone else's mess. What's the plan with her loot? He leaned on the wall, plaster cool against his spine. Side gig maybe. Investments. Something mine, she can't reach it. Good boy, Helen said. She dared you to live without her. You're thriving. The call clicked off, and Mark set the mug down, ceramic clinking softly. Thriving. The word lingered, a soft echo of 6 months reborn. He'd shed a marriage, a house, a life, and stood taller. The Honda's keys jingled as he grabbed them, stepping onto the porch. Crickets melted into birdsong, the air thick with summer heat. Across town, Lisa's world was cinders. Her dingy rental stank of mildew and defeat, a failing AC unit wheezing in the background. The for sale sign on Helen's lawn had gutted her, her old throne sold, her job ashes, her phone a tomb of dead texts. Jake was gone, her crew silent since the ruling leaked. She slumped at a wobbly table, a chipped glass of cheap wine trembling in her hand. The TV flickered reality trash she couldn't watch, a stack of bills looming on the counter. Her phone chirped once, a rare ping. She lunged, eyes foggy, and typed to Mark, fingers unsteady. "We can work this out. I messed up, let's talk." She hit send, the whoosh flat in the stale air, and stared. Silence stretched. No answer. At the rental, Mark's phone buzzed as he tied his boots. He glanced. Lisa's name, her bed glaring. His jaw flexed, her first taunt. "Mess up and find out," flashing back. She had. He swiped it away, the delete chime sharp, and sipped his coffee, slow and sure. No reply needed. She'd played, she'd lost. He drove to Helen's, the Honda coughing through still streets, rolling up as she dragged a trash bin out. She waved, her smirk bright in the sun. "Still kicking? Thought you'd be sulking by now." "Nope," Mark said, stepping out, engine ticking cool. She texted, "Wants to work it out." Helen snorted, rough and loud. "Too damn late." "What did you say?" "Nothing," he said, a slow grin blooming. Deleted it. "She's out of moves." "Attaboy," Helen said, smacking his arm. "Coffee's on, come in." Inside, the house hummed with her spark, the percolator hissing as she poured. "You're better at this than I figured," she said, handing him a mug. "She dared you, and you flipped the board." Mark took it, steam rising. "Guess so. Lost a wife, won a life." She nodded, leaning back. "What's next?" He sipped, eyes on the window, sky bruising gold. "Keep building. Something solid, mine alone." Helen lifted her mug, a toast in the stillness. "To new starts." "She'll choke on that dare yet." Mark clinked his to hers, the sound crisp in the warm room. He stepped outside, the Honda's engine coughing alive as he fired it up and pulled away. The road stretched open, birdsong fading into the engine rumble. Lisa's taunt, "You couldn't live without me," whispered once, a ghost he'd crushed. He grinned, well steady, driving into a future she'd lost forever. And that's the tale of Mark flipping the dare and the tables on Lisa. Love the ride? Don't stop here. Subscribe now for more stories of grit, revenge, and redemption. Share this story with a friend who'd savor the twist, and drop us a review to tell us how you'd play your own winning hand. See you soon in our next story.